mark. That'll be on the sides of where I bend it, so that's the middle of my bar. So that's where my ring will be. Okay, I've got the metal hot and I am going to wrap it around here and then try and close it up to form the ring. Trying to close it up as much as I can around it, and then I'll put a clamp on to hold it and bend it back open again, so that then I can get it wide enough to get into my twisting tool. Righto, that gives me a basic ring. Now I'll start twisting this together the best I can. I've got my ring, I've got it pulled nice and tight together, and I've got it so that it is opening out. What I want to do now is put a wedge in where they spread and then pull them back together to match the distance between the holes on my twisting tool. So there's my tool. So I need a wedge between them, between the two pieces that is the same thickness as my tool. It's not quite thick enough. That's a much better size, just a chisel. So if I wedge that down between the two, and then pull it back together again, the two bars should run out about the same width as those holes. That's what I had in mind. Now, hopefully, down in there like so. Allows me to now lock that in the vise. Lock that in the vise and start twisting. Gonna have to put a sleeve on this vise so the teeth don't hurt the metal. A lot better. Right, now I've got to get these separated evenly, turned and wrap back around. So what I might do is get them separated and turn, and then I'll flatten out these ends so that I can make the attachment to the block. But it is coming a lot straighter now. They're different lengths, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to cut the end off that. doing a sharp turning it there to be more like that with a nice even flow to it. So I've got to try and straighten that bit out and even her out. I think if I can get the hook round out of this section, I'll have enough in here to be able to get some good flat section to screw to the block. Okay, well they're looking a little bit better again. I'm going to start before I go any further and muck it up any more. I'm going to start flattening them out, putting up with this and then getting them into the right positions later. Okay, what I think I need to do now is just move one of them out of the way, planish up these edges, just move it away enough so I can get in with the hammer and planish up these two edges. Move that one in, move the other one out of the way, do the same thing again. What I want to do first is move one leg right out of the way and then start trying to put the bevel on the inside of the handle. At least that's now got a bevel. I've got enough on the side to be able to straighten out. I'll get that back in, heat it back up. Right, so ignore that there, I'm going to cut that off at the right length. They are lined up very nicely. Straighten that up a bit and get more of a kink out of that, and then bring that handle back round. So I think I might drop that in the vise and just bend the top over. Now they need to be twisted, so that these inside runs are on the top of the block, so they sit on the top of those. So clearly you has to be spread, but I'll do that afterwards. Better. Now I've got to, what I want to do is flatten those two out, these out, flatten them out so that they'll bend straight, and we're getting close. Well, there you go. One Bush's block handle made. It didn't turn out exactly as I planned in the first place. As I'm inexperienced in this trade, things didn't go quite as I'd expected they would, so it ended up being slightly different to what I planned. Pretty well the same concept that I'd planned in the first place, but I found issues that I never expected to be an issue at the start. For a start, here we have it. That's the finished item. It's very rustic, very unique, but it is actually what I wanted. It keeps my hand well away from the hot metal, and it's very comfortable. It might not look so, but this section here, which is flat and wide, actually fits very nicely into the heel of your hand. So that bit there fits very comfortably on the heel of your hand. Wrap my hand around there, puts my hand pretty well directly above the main part of the block. So I'll be using it that way. I suppose if you fancy, you could use it that way, but that's not the way it's designed. I don't think that's a comfortable way to have your... You could put your thumb in there and use it that way if you were so inclined, but as I'll be standing most of the time, well, all of the time, if I'm, say, excuse me for a second, grab a piece of steel, just a tong blank that I've been looking at constructing here. If I'm standing here like this and I have my heel on there, it works quite effectively. That to me is the most comfortable way to wrap my hand around that, and yeah, for that reason works quite, it's quite functional. So I did have issues with the transition from the twist to the spread. I struggled a little bit to get those to come out straight, because this one seemed to be shorter because it was behind where it'll be left hand side for you, so the left hand side being underneath and the right hand side being on top from where I'm looking, they don't kind of line up, so I had to do a fair bit of work, which gave me a bit of rough areas in there where I had to do a bit of hammering and then put some bending tools on and things like that, so that's a bit rough, but I won't be putting my hand on there. This is nice and smooth where I hold on to it, but I found that transition quite difficult. The hook around I got reasonably even. Some might say not really, but
I think it turned out okay. But it was where I had to twist these to turn into the flat section, I found really difficult to get it right and to get it even on both sides. So if anybody has any ideas on how I could have done that differently to what you may have seen on the video, I'd be very appreciative of any help and assistance in doing that. Otherwise, it turned out to be quite a functional tool. It has now got the blacksmith's goop coating on it. Feels nice, feels comfortable, and I'm sure will work very well. I have got some zinc coated screws in here that you can see that shine quite a lot, so I will be pulling it back out and chucking them in the forge when I do my next bit of forging. I won't be lighting up the forge just to blacken off 4 zinc screws, but I will be throwing them in there when I do my next bit of forging, which hopefully will be tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get some time to get back in here and do some actual forging. So I'll be I'll be pulling the back apart, putting those screws into the forge, blackening them off and putting them back in again so they don't shine like some hardware store bought product. So yep, there we have it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed making it, and I enjoyed learning a lot from the process of trying to figure out how to transition these sections. You will notice that one's nice. I got a nice flat twist and transition in there. This one, not so. I don't know how I managed to do it so differently, but once I'd started, it kind of took a mind of its own, and I think it's due to the fact that, as I said, one comes out from lower, the other one comes out from higher, and yeah, it messed with my head. So yeah, like I say before, any pointers will be appreciated a lot. What else was I going to say about it? Yes, I also really struggled with curling over the 15mm section here. Sorry, getting a 15mm straight piece here and then a nice 90-degree angle to get the section along the top there. I know I could have curled it round, put it straight along the side and just screwed it in, and yeah, it would have been as strong as what the screws are. But I wanted to make it so it had this flat section along here, and part of this is because I want to learn how to do these things. I want to learn how to make a 45-degree angle in a flat piece of steel. So for me, this was an opportunity to be able to attempt something I've never done before, have no idea how I should be doing it, and see what I can come up with. In the end, I came up with a functional tool. It's not pretty, but I tell you what, in the hand and using it, it feels great. Obviously, I can heat it up in these corners and drop that down a little bit to bring it flat across the top of there, but there's plenty of room for my hand, so I can drop it down. But when you're coming in on that angle, it feels comfortable. I moved it a couple of times lower and higher to see what I thought was the most appropriate place. And to me, just that little bit of pitch on the handle works really well. So any thoughts you've got are appreciated, and I shall try to get another video out as soon as possible. I'll be making a video tomorrow on whatever it is I get up to in the forge here, but I probably won't get an opportunity to get that video edited and uploaded until next weekend. But for now, thanks for visiting Forge Wright, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I gotta stop saying bye. That's really dumb.